Hey friends, so this is another video I'll add to the sequence of next steps after loss, miscarriage, and going through the process of all the testing and all the sorts of things. Wanted to share today just a little bit on the emotions of a loss and the emotions, what comes after a loss like this, of this magnitude, and just share my perspective because I just don't feel like there's a lot talked about with this. And as you're aware, it's just, if you've gone through this, it's just a lot, and I feel different emotions every day, and it's just like a cloud that like you can't ignore in your life when you're going through pregnancy loss and you know that you're supposed to still be pregnant and you're not. It's just a cloud that never goes away. And I feel like I'm trying to stop myself from doing this, but I feel like with every week I remember how far along I should have been, and I should have been like 12 weeks today and out of my first trimester, and that would have been a huge milestone for me. And as we know, that just did not work out this time for me. It breaks my heart to just accept that, and the more time goes on, the more you realize like, wow, you had a substantial loss and things aren't turning out like they should have been. Like I said, I was planning on sharing with my family today that I was pregnant, and that did not happen. I still got together with my family today over the weekend for my birthday, and I woke up, on my birthday crying. This morning I woke up in a better mood because I did have a lot of fun on my birthday. We went out to dinner and had a fun night, and I woke up excited for my party today. And I just kind of, again, struggled with celebrating right now, but tried to enjoy the day for what it is and enjoy and embrace that I'm 30. And we had a nice cake and I got to open presents, and it was honestly a lot of fun. So I'm in pretty good spirits today. But everywhere I go, every moment, I feel reminded of my loss. It's inevitable, and it's in everything. I mean, I just went to Costco and I was walking around just remembering what I had just been through. It's hard to not feel like everybody around you doesn't know, but they don't. Like when you're out in public, you feel like everybody knows, but nobody knows. Nobody knows what you've gone through. And to everybody else, you seem totally normal. And so I just want to give you that reminder that you might walk around feeling broken, but nobody sees you that way, For me, the grief has been hard. As a woman, you feel like you have a calling to be a mom. You feel like your body's meant to be a mom. You're a wife. I'm a wife, and my husband wants children, and there's just a lot with that, and a lot of guilt. I still feel guilty. I know I shouldn't. In my logical mind, I know that there's nothing I could have done to change my situation. I know that I was trying to be careful and protective, and I was eating all the right things, and I was avoiding caffeine, and I was avoiding all of the foods and medicines I was told to avoid. I was trying to avoid baths. I was trying to avoid anything that could cause me harm. I was trying to be careful with my cleaning supplies. I even wore a mask and gloves when I was trying to clean. And I was really careful about what chemicals I let myself be exposed to. I mean, I was trying like so hard, just genuinely, to do what I could. I tried to avoid, again, too much caffeine, was really limiting my caffeine, was trying to drink a ton of water, was trying to eat the right foods, avoid sushi and, a lot of seafood, honestly. And I was just trying to do everything in my power to make my pregnancy succeed. And what I've learned through this and what the doctors have told me and my research is there's nothing that I could have done to make this different. I believe whatever happened was very early in the development process, and I just have to remind myself there's just nothing I could have done. I didn't even know that anything was wrong until we got to our ultrasound. So these are just really raw feelings that women deal with. I still feel guilty. I still feel like I'm sorry. I still say I'm sorry to my baby. I still sometimes, talk to the baby, the spirit of the baby, I guess you could say. And I say, I'm sorry. I've told the baby that I'm trying to go through testing to figure out what was wrong and what went wrong so this doesn't happen again to my baby's siblings. I do that therapeutically because I still feel guilty. Like, I feel like it was my fault, my body's fault. But at the end of the day, if I was talking to a friend about this, I would remind her that there's nothing you could have done to make this different. And you wanted this baby with all of your heart and your soul, and you never would have done anything to harm it. And I believe that for myself too. You just feel so guilty because it was your body. And after you've had multiple losses, you feel even more guilty because you're like, well, it's clearly my problem. And at one point I actually felt guilty for even getting pregnant. Like, I felt like it was my fault and like something's wrong with my body. And I was having feelings of like, why did you do this? But those are such messed up thoughts, but those are thoughts that you can have like when you're in your deep, deep grief. Now, I've since recovered from that. I'm not having those deep thoughts anymore. I know that, this baby was a gift was brought into this world with love, and was made with love. And so I try to ground myself in those feelings that you had good intentions through this, and if everything had worked out, you would have had a beautiful life with your child. I accept that, and I do know that, and I know that God has got me in his hand when I'm going through these really dark moments. That's one reason why therapy has been really helpful for me, is there's just no way for women to not have these thoughts when they've gone through a substantial loss. And even though my loss was relatively early, I still got very attached to my child. And, I also have been feeling like I've lost my self-confidence a little bit. Like, I feel like everybody, like I said, views me as broken. I feel like the people that know kind of like don't know how to talk to me, don't know how to handle me. And I just hope that no one views me as a broken person. I hope that they view me with sympathy. Like, we hope that you can find out what's going on. But just because you do have miscarriages doesn't make you broken. I just want you to know that. Like, it feels that way, and it feels like it's your fault. That's all I can say. But I think it's important to have people around you remind you of your worth and remind you that you're still beautiful. And my husband's been doing a really good job of this. He wrote me a really pretty birthday card, and the card said something like, I'm so thankful for this life with you, and the gift of being by your side is perfect in every way. And inside the card, he wrote, I love everything about you. I'm so thankful for you. I thank God for you every day. And inside there was a Bible verse about all things being perfect coming from the Lord. And I cried when I got that card, and I read it several times, and I told him, you don't know what this means to me, because I've been feeling so bad about myself, or my body, and feeling like I'm not good enough, and feeling like something's very wrong with me, and it just really makes you feel less of a woman, to not be able to carry a baby. And it's just deep. It's like deep pain. And I haven't felt beautiful, and I haven't felt worthy, like, in my marriage, like, because I'm failing at doing the one thing that God called me to do as a woman. And I know I have to work through this. I have to work through these feelings and these thoughts, because I know it's out of my control, and it's something medical going on, and it's nothing that I can fix. And it's certainly not my fault. But these are just like really deep, raw feelings that you feel when you've gone through a loss of this magnitude and recurrent loss. And I would encourage you to seek some therapy if you're seeing this. But I'm trying to do things every day to remind myself that I'm still who I am. My family is showering me with love, reminding me that I'm the same. And I asked my husband the other day, and this is so sad, but I was like, do you still think I'm beautiful? Like, because I just don't feel it anymore. Like, I just lost my self-confidence. I've been so beat down by this. And he was like, yeah, of course, you're the same person that you've always been. And I'm just like, in my head, psychologically, like, I'm not the same. Like, I told him, after going through the trauma of passing the baby, like, on my own, with the treatment, it just changed me. Like, physically, I just went through so much pain. And then psychologically, just going through that, I just feel changed. Like, I feel like a different person. And I read something this week that said, when you go through trauma or you go through something really difficult, it changes you and you're not the same. And that's what trauma is, right? You're exposed to something new that's really hard for you. I think we have to learn to accept that change and embrace it for what it is. We have to learn to let that change affect us for the good. We have to find a way to grow from it. You can let your pain destroy you, or you can choose to grow from it. And I'm trying to grow from it. I try to keep going every day. I do the things that I want to do. I've been out shopping a little bit today. Got some birthday money. I've been running a few errands and trying to be a person and trying to remember that there are good things in life. But for me, life has just been really bad recently. I still have faith that God has a bigger plan. I am trying to do everything in my power to find answers to avoid this from happening to me again, to make sure that when I try again, I feel ready to do so. And I think every woman's journey is different. This week, God has specifically put it on my heart, the idea that I will have to try again, and I will have to be brave in that, and that the only way that you can get what you want in life is for me to try again and have the bravery and the courage to do that. So God has just kind of put that on my heart that, like, you know what, Haley, this is really hard for you, but in order for you to find more answers and rule more things out and see if some of the suggestions from doctors will work, you'll have to try again. I'm not there yet. I'm still healing, literally physically still healing. So I do have time. And that is one good thing about a loss. Well, there's not much good things about it, but one good thing about it is you do have, the further you are along, the more time you do have to heal. And while your body is physically healing, your mind and your heart can also be doing so. And so it's just something that I've learned through this is a loss is not a quick process. I'm now a month out from finding out the baby had stopped developing, and I'm still physically not back to normal. And it may be another month or so until I am. And so a loss is not a quick thing, and it's not something you just bounce right back from. It's a significant time of your life, and you just have to let your body heal, and your heart and your mind as well. Yeah, I don't feel rushed in any way. I'm just letting my body try to get better, and that's been my priority right now. Another thing that someone shared with me that really gave me comfort this week, they had a miscarriage like me. She said, knowing that the child only knew my love, and that's all they have ever felt, and then knowing that they were welcomed into the arms of Jesus in heaven when they passed on, is just a really, really comforting thought. So I just share that with you. Like, if you've gone through a loss, just know that your baby only felt your love in this world. They never knew the pain of this earth. That gives me a lot of peace. And I know that my baby feels only love because I literally loved that baby from the moment that I knew that I was pregnant. and I bonded with my baby, and I was ecstatic to be pregnant. I was embracing everything, every part of it, and was already planning so much. And I know in my heart and my soul that I would be a great mom, and God still has it on my heart, that desire to be a mom. Even after the pain of the loss, I still feel that desire the same, actually even more now. And I just know in my heart that that desire is there for a reason. So I'm not going to give up. That's one thing I've promised to myself and to the babies that I have lost, is you're not going to give up. You're going to keep going. You're going to do everything you can to figure this out and try to have a successful pregnancy. That's my promise I'm making to myself. And at the end of the day, at least I'll know that I'm doing what I can. So those are just a few little things I wanted to share about just like emotions after a miscarriage. I know that was really deep. Something that helps me, and I don't want you to think I'm like over here a basket case. I'm out and about running errands. I'm okay. I'm doing okay, but I just wanted to be really, really transparent about it, because it's like really difficult to go through this, like another level of trauma that I have never experienced. And I feel like I will always carry this with me. Even when I get pregnant and have a baby, I will never forget this. And I have to find purpose through it, and I have to find a reason. And that's just how I feel. I have to find a way to bring good out of this. And maybe that's sharing this with you. I pray a lot. I listen to worship music like 24/7, songs that bring me peace and comfort. Sometimes just sitting in the silence is too difficult, and so I'll turn on a song and it just really helps me. I have been walking every day and getting some exercise on the treadmill, or going outside if it's a nice day, and really trying to focus on me. With my PCOS, I'm researching, diet options, supplement options. We have our appointment with the fertility specialist next month. And so I'm really going to focus on trying to be the best version of me, trying to get healthy, eat well, and prime my body to hopefully not have another loss. I am reading the book, It Starts with the Egg, which was recommended on the pregnancy loss Facebook group that I'm in. And I'm already learning a lot about the human body, and honestly, just the fact that some women need a little bit of help when it comes to, getting pregnant or staying pregnant. Don't give up. Always seek, mental health support. Work on your spiritual journey. Talk with God. That's been really helpful. And seek fertility specialist guidance if you feel that you want a second opinion or need some additional care. That's where I'm at. I will post again in a few weeks when we do have more test results back. I'm doing a few more tests next week. My HCG levels were still not all the way down. A few other things they want to look for. I've asked for my insulin levels to be tested, since I've got a history of insulin resistance, and now we are confirmed with PCOS, which I already knew that I had, but I'll update you then, and our fertility appointment is just in a few weeks, so we are almost there. Just don't forget to advocate for yourself with your medical team, and I'll let you know what updates I have in the future, but hang in there and just know that the future is brighter than where you are today. Bye.